Are you looking for a beginner-friendly top that you can whip up really fast? I think I got you covered with this granny square top right here. I'm calling it the Delilah top just in case I want to make more granny square tops in the future. I want to be able to tell them apart. This top can be worn casually, which I know I'm going to be doing most of the time, but you can also dress it up. It's extremely versatile. Have fun with it and make it your own. I did create a sizing chart for this top that you can find in the pattern and for free on my blog post. I'll put a link to the website in the description section below. Click on it, it'll take you straight to it. In the sizing chart, I have included approximately how many yards of yarn you're going to need to make the size top you want to make, and I went above and beyond and I added the number of kobu skeins that you're going to need to make the size top that you want to make as well. Trying to be a little helpful. It's a size 3 weight yarn. This is Lion Brand Kobu in the color olive. You're going to also need the crochet hook H8 5mm, a yarn needle, scissors, measuring tape, very important, and stitch markers, at least 8. It's going to be a big deal. I'll have links to all of these materials in the description just in case you're having trouble finding some things, and make it easy peasy. This top is just 2 large granny squares joined together, so let's dive into the pattern that I chose. Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate how to work the chain 4 method example to substitute for the magic ring, just in case you're not a big fan of the magic ring method. With that first chain, we're going to elongate that chain to make room for all the stitches that we're going to put into it. And then make 3 more chains. This is going to count as your first double crochet stitch. Then make 3 more double crochets into that first chain. There's 1. 2, and 3. Great, with that first chain 3 counting as a double crochet, we got 4, and that's side number 1. Now for the corner, we're going to chain 2. Great, and then make 4 more double crochet stitches into that first chain. Awesome. Chain 2 for corner number 2. Make 4 more double crochet stitches. This is going to be side number 3. Great. Great, chain 2 for corner number 3. Make 4 more double crochet stitches for our last side, our 4th side. Perfect, and then to close round 1, we're going to chain 1 and half double crochet into the top chain of that first chain 3. Awesome, and this is what it's going to look like. Now, because we use the chain 4 method, we can't tighten the tail to close the middle. There are pros and cons on how you start your project. For round 2, we're going to begin by slip stitching around the post of the half double crochet stitch that we made to close round 1. And then chain 3, and this chain 3 is going to count as our first double crochet stitch. Double crochet over that same half double crochet stitch of the corner. Nice, and then work 1 double crochet stitch in each stitch. That first stitch there with the chain 3 from the round below can easily get skipped, so pay close attention here. Count to make sure that every side has the same number of stitches. In the chain 2 corner, we're going to make 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Beautiful. All right, go ahead and repeat all the way around for round 2. If your yarn starts to get splitty, what I do is I take out a couple of stitches to straighten out those plies, and then I try again. Back it up a little bit more. All right, here we go. All right, to close round 2, in corner number 4, we're going to work 2 double crochet, and then we're going to chain 1 and half double crochet into the top of that beginning chain 3. And that's it. This is what round 2 should look like right here. Great, and for the rest of the pattern, you're just going to repeat everything we did in round 2. Easy peasy. Slip stitch around that half double crochet post, chain 3, double crochet around that same half double crochet post, and you're off. Make sure to watch out for that first stitch. You got this. Work however many rows are indicated in the sizing chart for the size top that you want to make. If you would like to play around with adjusting your top in any way, check out this video right here for ideas on how to do that or how it would be done. Make 2 matching squares, and then we're going to join them together. I'm choosing to use the mattress stitch join, but if you would like to see other joining options, check out this video that I made with 3 of my favorite joining options for wearables. For the mattress stitch join, you want the right side of each panel to be facing outward and the wrong side of each panel to be touching on the inside. Next, we're going to attach our stitch markers and set our intentional seaming locations, starting with the upper corner. Then measuring how wide you want your armhole to be and marking that location with a stitch marker. You can always reference any chart in the pattern or just go off of what's going to be most comfortable for you. It can be a rough eyeball. We can always change it. Then for the neckline, I want you to take the whole width and divide it in half. Find that center point. Mark that with a stitch marker, and then decide how wide you want your neckline to be, or just refer to the pattern. Work an even number of stitches, inches, centimeters on both sides of that center point. Mark those with a stitch marker. Once you got those marked, you can remove that central stitch marker. Now let's get to that mattress stitch join. You will be using a yarn needle and a fairly long strand of the same yarn that you used for the project. Join the panels in the bottom corner and then tie a knot to secure. In this example, I'm choosing to go into the chain closest to the stitches on each side of the panel, but you can just place your yarn needle through the chain 2 space and then tie a knot to secure. Right, so to do the mattress stitch join, you want to insert your yarn needle from the bottom to the top of the back loop only of the stitch. Then go to the second panel, find the aligned stitch, insert your yarn needle from the back to the front of the back loop only of that stitch. Come back to panel 1, find the next open stitch. Insert your yarn needle from the back to the front of that back loop only. Pull. And then find the aligned stitch on the other panel. Back to front, back loop only. And you're just going to repeat this. That is the mattress stitch join Repeat all the way up until you reach that stitch marker. Definitely check to make sure that you didn't scrunch your stitches in the joining process. It's very common to do so. So just watch the bottom to make sure it stays flat. Once you get to that stitch marker, even if your stitches are not aligned, for example, maybe you've reached the last stitch on one panel, but you still have like 2 stitches on the other panel, it's okay. Just stop at the closest stitch and then tie off. You've worked your stitches with a 1-to-1 stitch ratio up to this point, so you're good. This is what the join will look like. To tie off your work, insert your yarn needle into the same 2 stitches that you just placed your yarn needle underneath, and then hold back a little bit of yarn with your thumb, creating a loop. Twist the loop so it makes an X shape. Insert your yarn needle underneath the loop and pull through, and then slowly pull the yarn so that way you can guide that knot to exactly where you want it to land. After you finish the join, weave in all your ends. Clean things up. It's going to help you tremendously, make things super easy moving forward. Last thing we're going to do is make edges for the armhole, the neckline, and the bottom hem. Now I'm going to demonstrate the single crochet border around the armholes, the slip stitch border around the neckline. I left the bottom hem alone for personal preference, but feel free to do whatever you want with your top. All right, we're gonna start by slip stitching into the join of the 2 sections right here in the middle. It's fine if it's not perfect, just wherever you can, right there in the join, that's where you wanna slip stitch. And then chain 1 and single crochet into the same stitch that you just slip stitched into. Next, you're gonna single crochet into the chain 1 space, and then make 1 single crochet stitch in every stitch. At the other side where there's the other join, you're gonna make a single crochet stitch into the chain 1 space, single crochet into the join itself, and then single crochet into the next chain 1 space. After that, you're just gonna continue on making 1 single crochet stitch in every stitch. To finish off the edge, we're going to single crochet into the last chain 1 space and then slip stitch into the top of the very first single crochet stitch that we made. Number 2, if you prefer something super simple, you can just do a slip stitch edge for a really minimal, tidy finish. And this is how that will look. We're going to start the slip stitch edge by slip stitching into the join of the 2 panels. There's no need to chain 1 here. We're just going to dive right into slip stitching into each stitch. You're going to continue on until you reach the other join of the 2 panels. You're going to slip stitch into the chain 1 space, slip stitch into where the join is, and then slip stitch into the next chain 1 space. After you've made it across the join of the 2 panels, you're just going to continue to make 1 slip stitch in the top of every stitch all the way around. To close off this edge, we're going to slip stitch into the very first slip stitch and then tie off our work. Either option works beautifully around your neckline, your armhole, your wrists, even the bottom hem of your shirt, and it's totally up to you which one you use. There's no wrong answers here. And if you don't like it, you can take it out and use the other one. If you would like to make sleeves or add a collar, check out this video I made right here on ways to do that, walk you through how to do that. And once you're done weaving all those ends, your project is complete, ready to enjoy. If you like this project, you're gonna love the videos I have coming up. Please make sure to subscribe, like this video, and maybe share it with somebody that you might be like, hey, you want me to make this for you? Or possibly vice versa.